Hello, all you awesome people out there. Welcome back to the channel. I am always your host, Geek Viz Hoove, aka Notorious Hoove, the Notorious HOOV. Anyway, we are back with another edition of I Just Watched as we continue on with our Oscars March. If you don't know, Oscars March is when I watch all of the nominees for Best Picture. This is our it's the third, but it's the third, but it's technically the fourth. The movies I just watched because I watched Sinners when it came out, the only one I had previously watched before the announcements. But this is our third one in the actually this is our fourth one. I'm sorry, fourth technically fifth. No, I was right, third. Yeah, whatever. I get lost. But yeah, because this is third because we've watched one battle after another and sentimental value already. So if you're interested in those, you can go to the channel, check those out, and watch those. And now we arrive here at Train Dreams. So yeah, I'm watching all movies before Best Picture, so I can actually know and have my opinion. Said this a million times as well, but I'll say it again. As right now, Sinners is my top movie that I think should win, mostly because it's the one I actually watched. But it was a good ass movie, and I hide it. I keep it in very high regard. So every movie kind of has to compare to that. So we'll find out if my opinion changes once we get to the end of this journey. But of course, if you haven't already, make sure if you feel so inclined, check out the channel. Check out the rest of the stuff I got too. I got video game stuff. I got movie stuff. We just talked about Fallout Season 2, as that's just wrapped up. We also got Percy Jackson and the Olympians Season 2 of that. So yeah, check out all that good stuff on the channel as well. We got more coming in the future. So get in on the ground floor. Help a black man out. It's Black History Month. Help a brother out. Shit. don't let the black man fail. It's Black History Month, man. We gotta do something. We all get the super soldier serum. You know, we ain't had to get it like Isaiah Bradley did. You know, we thank him for his service. But now Black History Month, we just all get it around this time. But anyway, yeah, so that's it. So let's go ahead and talk about Train Dreams. That if you don't know, I do these. I go over the overview, was just basic information: who's in it, who directed, who wrote it, when it came out, all that good stuff. Then I kind of go into a little bit of the story, just a good overview synopsis of what the movie's about. Then I go deeper into some important elements without spoiling the whole thing. So I talk about some important storylines that you probably just know to understand, you know, any more of my breakdowns and, you know, any other things I explain about what I liked and what I didn't like, which is the next thing I talk about. I talk about what I like, what I didn't like. I give any kind of little tips and shit I saw. And then for the Oscars March, we also talk about what other awards these movies are nominated for at the Academy Awards upcoming as well. Also, the Oscars come on March 15th. So that's when we got to catch up on all of these movies. I don't know. I don't know. I'm pitching the idea of maybe doing like a live stream watch along kind of thing. I don't know. Clearly I don't have a large community just yet. I don't know if I'm big enough to do shit like that just yet. Also, the Oscars can be. I'm gonna be honest with you. Oscars can be a bit of a snore fest to get through. So I don't know. We'll find out. But anyway, enough of this yapping. Let's go ahead and talk about Train Dreams here. So, if you don't know, Train Dreams was released on November 7th, 2025, in theaters at least, and then it released on Netflix on November 21st of the same year. It is available on Netflix. I think I saw some theaters are still playing it, but mostly it's in Netflix. Actually, no, it's Netflix. They got pulled after 21st. So yeah, you can catch it on Netflix. The movie is written by Clint Bently and Greg Quindar. I think I'm saying that correctly. And it is also directed by Clint Bently as well. The movie stars Joel Egerton, Felicity Jones, Alfred Hissing, Nathaniel Akkad, Carrie Condor, with William H. Macy, and some narration by Will Patton. So the story of Train Dreams follows the story showcases 80 years of the life of a logger, Robert Granier, in Boone's Ferry, Idaho. And it tells the story from his orphaned childhood on a train to all the way up to his passing in a wood cabin. So, you know, a fairly simple synopsis on that one. I was battling with my chair before we recorded this. I had to make sure it was good before I recorded, so we'll lean back and see if we'll be fine here. But yeah, so let's talk about some important notes. Let's talk about Gladys and Kate. So Robert ended up meeting a woman by the name of Gladys. By the way, the chair is not fine. I already feel it singing. The two fell in love, and they built a cabin in the woods and started a family when they had their daughter named Kate. Of course, Robert's logging mission took him away for very long periods of time. And after his most recent job, when he was thinking about hanging it up, the two of them were speaking on starting a sawmill, so he wouldn't have to leave all the time. Right when he returned from his job from doing that, he came home to see a massive wildfire in the forest, and unfortunately, also caught in that wildfire was his cabin, and the cabin was completely burned down. Unfortunately, after the aftermath of the fire, Robert never discovered the whereabouts or the fate of his wife and child. He never found their bodies. He never found out or heard if they escaped or any of that nature. He never found out if they perished or if they survived from the fire. So unfortunately, he never found out about that. Extended beyond that, and also with that, after that, he rebuilt the cabin and stayed with the hopes that they would return. So he lived basically from that point on. He lived the rest of his life as basically as a hermit, staying in that cabin in the woods for the rest of his life. He was visited by a friend who helped him out. He ended up adopting like a little litter of some dogs who came around. But yeah, basically he just lived in that cabin, a smaller, more simple cabin than the one he built with his wife, and basically stayed there for the rest of his life. Let's talk about some PTSD because earlier in his life he took a job working construction for a bridge when he witnessed an innocent Chinese coworker get tossed from the bridge, and for years he would see that man in visions, haunting him in his dreams, seeing him in visions. So it stuck with him for a very long time. And by the way, this was during like the height of like the anti-Chinese movement back in that time period, which is why like a bunch of those guys just tossed him off the damn bridge. Yeah. And then later on in life, in his elder years, he actually took the train to the city for the first time. That bridge he was building was actually for a train. Unfortunately, that train immediately became obsolete because not too long after, a car bridge was built a couple miles upstream, which kind of made that one obsolete, but the train still used it. And with that, he ventured out to the city for the first time. This was like early 60s. He finally ventured out into the city and just had a very life-changing moment, even in that late in his life. So that's about it for some of the important elements of the movie. Now we'll talk about what I liked about it. And I just have to say, without a doubt, the best looking movie I've watched so far. The cinematography in this movie is just downright gorgeous. Like there are a lot of exterior shots. I've been meaning to use my right hand more because it's the one that's not covered up by the video. I talk with my hands, I'm sorry. There are a ton of like exterior shots here, and it's a lot of forestry, so there's a lot of green, and that green just fucking pops all the time. And it's really done better by like the fact that like the wardrobe for the show is a very muted colors, very low key, not really vibrant, not really high. So when you get these shots of just like a bunch of people just in that forest and they're just wearing these very mauve and muted colors against just this vibrant green, it just looks really good. It makes that green in that forest stand out so much more when they do it like that. And it's just phenomenal. There are just some beautiful shots in this movie. It like I said, without a doubt, the best looking movie I've seen so far. I will not be surprised if this takes home best cinematography at the Oscars. Matter of fact, as right now, it's my front runner for best cinematography. So I think this might win so far. Also, the music in this is phenomenal. It's just as well. They really focus on just these heavy, just haunting, just strings for the music. And it's really done well. Like they've really nailed just like the look and the sound of this movie, and just the vibe and the feel of it. They really nailed that down as well. But yeah, it was just great music, great cinematography. So just a great movie to just look at and listen to. Which unfortunately for me was kind of just like the main thing, because what I didn't like about this movie is that there's there's really no conflict in this. Again, I believe it's based off a novel, so yeah, it's legitimately just telling a story of this man just living his life through the ups and the downs. So there's not really a conflict. So, and like for me, it made it kind of hard to kind of hook me in, really, because again, there's this, there's no conflict. There's not really a lot of drama. There's not like an opposition or an antagonist. It's just like this guy living his life. But yeah, I will say, saying that, I'll go over it I'll go over in the last section, but just keep that in mind, because it actually played a role in what really kind of changed my entire perception of this movie. I'll talk about it later. But yeah, let's talk about the awards. Well, this movie has as well. So, Train Dreams is up for a total of 4 Academy Awards once we get to the Oscars, and those awards are besides Best Picture, of course. So the other 3 are, of course, cinematography, as I mentioned earlier. As I said, right now it is my front runner for that award. We'll see if any of the other movies I come across are up there as well. I don't know how many that are in Best Picture also up for cinematography. I have to look that up. But yeah, Best Cinematography, Original Song, and Adapted Screenplay. So those are the 4 awards: the Best Picture, Adapted Screenplay, Original Song, and Cinematography. So those are the 4 awards this movie is up for here at the Academy Awards. So let's talk about my final thoughts. So I mentioned how there's a lot of stuff, not a lot of stuff. What I didn't like about it is that there's like no central like conflict. How there's not an antagonist. There's nothing like there's no clear opposing force that Robert has to like face and overcome. Like I said, it's just a guy kind of living his life. The whole thing with like his wife and his kid and all that stuff. The PTSD from the guy fall off the bridge. But again, those to me are just moments in his life. It's not like an actual opposition for him to overcome. You know what I mean? But I think it really helped out, because it made me realize how important just discussing and critically thinking about movies, and just kind of discussing them and just going over things, either just in your head or when you're talking with somebody after you see it, just how important that is, because that can make you realize things you may have not even been able to originally notice. Because when I was writing this moment, it really kind of flipped a switch in my head about not only what this movie is really about, but also what makes it like. The best thing I come up with this movie is that this is a equally beautiful and equally haunting movie. It's beautifully haunting. Why? And it's because it's real. First, let's just talk about the camera work and the cinema. I can't gush over that enough. The camera work and the cinematography are fucking top notch in this movie. It's definitely my pick for best cinematography. Add to it to the music. Really adds into it. But for me, what really kind of flipped the switch in my mind and really kind of made me notice, like, truly what made this movie work is it's just the story of a person just living their life, and everything you go through and everything you experience in just this weird, crazy ass thing we just call life. For the love and the loss, growing old, grieving, the world around you changing, shit you love or shit you used to do on just a regular everyday basis, also just kind of changing, and you honestly just as a person aging out of it. There's a scene where when he finally kind of, when he finally kind of gets out of his like, his spiral of depression after the loss of his wife and his daughter, he goes back to working, and he goes back to working as a logger. And then for me, it was kind of funny, but like again, it's like the most simple fucking shit that just makes it kind of crazy. He goes back to logging, and when he was doing logging, it was just axes and fucking saws, and that was it. And now you got fucking and it's like now you got fucking chainsaws. You know what I mean? And like he couldn't for the life of him figure out how to use it. He couldn't even get it to fucking start up and turn on. You know what I mean? And it's literally just like the whole thing of just like having a motherfucker punch in with a punch card for years at a job, for decades. And now all of a sudden you figured out, now they've introduced a fucking electronic system, and now you got to use a computer, and you just can't get a hold of using this fucking device to punch in. He's just like, why the fuck can I not use it? And it's just shit like that. And like now he's old, and like as he was a young logger, he would run into like these older guys on the site, and now sort of coming to a realization that that's him now. He is now this old guy who's working there while not really working because he can't physically keep up. He's just kind of sitting on the side, just yapping, and he just came to the realization that that's him now. He is that old dude now. And again, and that's why I'm talking about when I was writing this, all of that shit just came spilling out, and I realized like, god damn, that's what this fucking movie is all about. And it's low key, it's kind of fucking sad, especially for a motherfucker like me. I'm just into my early 30s. So like, it's that realization that eventually, nigga, I'm going to get to that point where it's like, what things are going to pass me by to the point I'm just like, I don't even know if I can get the fucking hang of this shit. Like I'm already like a late millennial. Like there's already so much tech and apps and bullshit that I just don't fuck with already. Like I could get to learn it, but I just fucking choose not to even mess with it. And like that's to me like what makes this movie, what made this movie jump up. Fucking hands. What made this movie like really jump up for me was just that. And like the final line of this movie says it as well. Well, it's not a major spoiler, it's a little bit of a spoiler, but he like I mentioned, he goes to the city for the first time at the very end when he's an older man. He finally goes out and ventures into the city for the first time in his life. And so he does it, and he experiences all these fucking things for the first time. Which, again, as a motherfucker who's mostly an introvert and really just kind of stays in the house to himself, and it's been having these discussions with himself, like, nigga, I need to go out and just do something for like the first time, just to fucking do it. And like, and then just the moment where he goes into the city, he experiences all these things for the first time. He goes to the movie theater. He sees a TV for the first time. Imagine you've never seen a TV. You've been in the woods chopping wood all your entire life, living in a cabin in the woods with no electricity. You go out and you watch a fucking TV for the first time. But not only are you watching a TV for the first time, it's a fucking broadcast of motherfuckers going out into space. That shit's fucking crazy. But yeah, and he also takes this little, like an airplane tour. So he's sitting in like a 2-person plane, and he takes a little tour, and they just fly over the city, and he just does it. And the line is like when he was on that plane, it talks about like for the first time in his life he felt connected to it all. And I'm like, and that just perfectly explains, I feel like, everything in this movie. And just all the shit I mentioned before, just all that shit. And that's what really made this movie work for me. And the way it ends, being this, again, super just haunting, a little dark. It's this whole reflection of the movie started with him utterly alone as an orphan child. No idea where he came from, no idea who his parents were, didn't even know really know what the fuck his name was. He just the only thing he remembers is he's on this train. And the fact that it ends with, again, maybe a little spoiler, and then the fact that it ends with him passing away in his sleep again, completely alone in this wood cabin, is also just a fucking extremely just sad and daunting fucking thing. So like, again, so that's why I'm like, I kind of went through all that shit. I'm like, yeah, it's a really pretty looking movie. You know, I didn't hate it, I didn't love it as I was watching it and experiencing it. But once it got to that ending, and then I was writing this, and I had to like kind of think about all this shit as I was writing it, and all that shit just kind of came out, and I realized like, oh shit, that's what this movie is all about. So that jumped in straight up for me. So yeah, I really love this movie. If I was ranking the movie so far, by the way, I give it like a 7 out of 10. Yeah, so I really enjoyed this movie. And if I was ranking them, Sinners is still my number one. Sinners, I still feel like is the best movie going so far. But this one shoots up to number 2 for me. So this is my runner up. Like if Sinners loses to this, I'll be disappointed. But I'm like, okay, fine, I get it. But yeah, but if I was ranking everything I watched so far, Sinners is 1. Sinners. I'm right-handed. I don't know why. Sinners is number 1, and I'm right-handed, which makes everything worse. Sinners is number 1. This Train Dreams will be number 2. Sentimental Value is 3, and One Battle After Another I put down to 4. By the way, I think I retroactively changed my score for fucking One Battle After Another. I think I give One Battle After Another like a fucking 3. And again, it's just because I think about, okay, just how good I feel like this movie was. Sentimental Value is also a very good movie. And just kind of going back and think about, okay, you know what? I might have to knock One Battle After Another down to a 3. Just to really kind of separate it from everything else. So yeah, but there you have it. That is Train Dreams. I just watched it. Really enjoyed it. Just fucking gorgeous movie. Like I said, beautiful and yet ugly at the same time. You know what I mean? Like hopeful and haunting, all just rolled into one. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Train Dreams. If you see Train Dreams, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Let me know how the video sounded too. I think I fixed an issue with the audio, especially with the One Battle After Another. Shouts out to Janelle for letting me know in the comments of that video. But I think I fixed it. Hopefully it's good. I feel like the Fallout video audio was pretty well. So hopefully it's what it is too. But anyway, that's it for me here. Thank you all for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you think of Train Dreams. What is your current contender for Oscars for Best Picture? Let me know down in the comments. You know, like I said, like, subscribe to the channel, share the video if you feel so inclined. Again, Black History Month. You know, just help brother out. Don't let the black man fail on Black History Month. That's crazy. But anywho, yeah, if you're interested in this, like I said, check out the other ones: One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Sentimental Value. I have one of these for all of those so far as well. Sinners is the only one I did when the movie actually came out, so that one's, you know, maybe a little. It won't have all the kind of stuff I talk about now. But yeah, so feel free to check all that stuff out. Subscribe to the channel if you're feeling so inclined. But yeah. Always remember to stay watching, to stay playing, and to stay awesome. And of course, most importantly, to stay safe out there. Until next time, everybody, I will see you all later. Until next time, goodbye.